Hi guys, watching Fun Facts, and today's news it says US tell embassy staff in Israel to leave now if they want, as Trump threatens to attack Iran.
Hoda, good morning. The US delegation, led by President Trump's envoy and his son-in-law Jared Kushner, has now arrived. You can see them here in this just released picture, taking part in those indirect talks with Iranian officials in Geneva, just as the US imposes a wave of new sanctions on Tehran after Trump made two striking accusations against Iran during his State of the Union this week. First, that Iran was starting all over with its nuclear program, and second, that Iran is working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States. Now, Tehran dismissed all that as a series of big lies, and this morning is urging the Trump administration to approach this third round of negotiations with, quote, seriousness. President Trump, as you say, has amassed huge firepower in this region, while saying during the State of the Union his preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. And Hoda, that's understandable, because a decision to strike Iran could be one of the most consequential of his presidency, with the risk that Iran retaliates against US bases and allies like here in the Gulf where I am, that it leads to a surge in oil prices, and with questions like what would come next in Iran if the US imposed regime change from outside. Hoda.
So, Keir, are there other U.S. officials who believe that Iran is capable of building weapons that may be able to reach the United States?
Well, remember, President Trump said last year that those US strikes on Iran that they had carried out obliterated its nuclear program. That doesn't mean that it hasn't removed its highly enriched uranium, and it doesn't mean that it could quickly produce a weapon. Last year, a Defense Intelligence Agency report said Iran does have something called space launch vehicles that it could use to develop an intercontinental ballistic missile by 2035, should it decide to. President Trump did not say whether there is new evidence suggesting Iran could have missiles capable of striking the US sooner than 2035. But Hoda, if today's negotiations fail, and if President Trump decides to launch strikes on Iran, these are some of the arguments he may make to justify that action. Remembering, of course, that last month he suggested US strikes would be in support of protesters in Iran. Hoda, what's not in doubt is that this is a high stakes moment.
It is indeed. All right, Keir Simmons for us there in Dubai. Keir, thank you.
So now Trump is trying to attack Iran, and they know definitely Iran is going to retaliate. So US have asked embassy staffs in Israel and also the US citizen in Israel to leave immediately, and know Iran is going to definitely strike Israel. So he says the United States on Friday told some embassy staffs that they could leave Israel, and that those who want to must do so quickly, as fears of an American attack on Iran fueled alarm throughout the region. The message was conveyed in an email from Ambassador Mike Huckabee that was sent to the US mission, instructed those wishing to leave to do so today. So this was reported by the NBC media. So guys, this is where I'll end it. See you in my next video. It's a wrap.